Hello friends, welcome to Mushkil Ashan. This is JAYITA Saha, clinical psychologist. And today we discuss about criticism and how you can handle criticism. Most of us don't like hearing ourselves being criticized. It's a very common reaction. Certain areas of our brain like the amygdala and the medial frontal cortex are responsible for how we deal with our criticism. But that does not mean that how we deal with the criticism is not under our control. It's not something that the brain does automatically and you cannot control your reactions. You can definitely control your reactions, and today I will tell you how you can handle criticism. But before that, you need to know what is your reaction to criticism. Different people have different ways of reacting to criticism. There are the internalizers. Apparently, they look very cool in the situation where they are being criticized. But internally, they are turning into a pulp. They are going over it again and again, and it affects their functioning. They internalize it and cannot get out of that mode. And then there are the self-convincers. They are not as bad as the internalizers, but they tend to become defensive and often blame the person who is criticizing them or become defensive about the situation. Of course, that does not lead to a pleasant situation. Next, we have the defenders. The defenders, if are facing any criticism, go on defending their actions, and you can understand it becomes a very argumentative situation. And there are others who are much more mature. They are the feedback seekers. When they face criticism, they ask for feedback and try to analyze the feedback and think about how they can improve themselves. These people deal with criticism much better than the internalizers, defenders, and the self-convincers. So how do you handle criticism better? All of us in our lives, some day or the other, has faced criticism. Some have broken up in the face of criticism, and it has led to many difficulties for them to come out of it. But certain people can handle criticism very well, and they have turned the crisis into an opportunity. So to understand how to better handle criticism, you must separate the criticism from the self. The person is criticizing a certain behavior of yours or a certain action of yours. The person is not criticizing you as a whole persona. So you have to understand that your self is separate from the behavior which is being criticized. And the behavior is a learned process which can be unlearned. According to behavior therapist, anything that we learn can be unlearned again. A habit can be unlearned and a new habit can be relearned. So first you have to separate the criticism from yourself. Then the person who's asking you certain things to do, ask the person open-ended questions that can help you to improve yourself. Instead of asking closed-ended questions, which will definitely lead to a yes or no answer and cause no improvement to the situation, you have to ask open-ended questions and take the opinion of the person and work on it. Don't view your mistakes as entirely bad. it might be a learning opportunity, and you can turn the crisis into an opportunity by learning new things or new ways of doing the same. Next, what you can do is you have to see the intention of the person who is criticizing you. That is very important. If the person who's criticizing you is giving constructive feedback or is a very toxic person and giving it to bully you, giving you a destructive feedback to lower your confidence, so you must take a rational view of the situation instead of becoming emotional or irrational. Just think, is the constructive feedback going to help you, or is it going to destructive feedback going to make you make more mistakes? Once you understand if it is constructive or destructive, the feedback, you have to sit back and think, is there any truth to it? Sometimes we are in denial, and even in the case of constructive feedback, we are not able to accept it. So think about it. In the past, has this point been raised by others who are your well-wishers? So if others have also raised this point, so everybody can't be wrong and you are the only correct person. So there might be some truth to it. So think back and see if it's constructive or destructive, whichever it is there any truth to it? And if there is any truth to it, then you have to accept the fact that you are not perfect and nobody is perfect either. So you can work on yourself and become a better version of yourself. So whenever you are facing criticism, never respond immediately, because on hearing the criticism, often we become angry because that is a natural reaction. So you tend to show your reaction. Do not show your reaction, show your response to the criticism. So instead of reacting immediately, respond with time. Just wait, let the person continue, hear the person out, and then give him or her a response which is neutral. Then it does not make the situation turn into a conflict. And when you are being criticized, whether it is constructive or destructive, don't take it personally. Because if you take it personally, it's going to hurt you more. So that person felt this about you. You think about it. Don't be in denial. If you feel, yes, you need to improve on this, so go on improving yourself. If you think that person is trying to bully you, that person is basically a toxic person and giving destructive feedback, then you have to develop a thicker skin and not be so sensitive to the reactions and criticisms of others. And one thing which comes to mind when we discuss about criticism is, earlier people used to get criticized in the real world, but now since we live in the cyber world too, we have all our presence in the cyber world, so people are getting trolled in the cyber world too. I see people writing such mean things about celebrities, about famous people, which they do not have any right to. So it happens with a lot of other people also. They are not celebrities, but they get trolled. So you have to develop a thick skin and ignore these comments or block these comments. And you have to disregard the destructive criticism, because the destructive criticism is not your fault. The destructive criticism reflects the personality of the other person who is doing it, and the other person has definitely certain grudges against you. He or she definitely does not admire you, but obviously he or she is trying for achieving something which you have and that person doesn't have, so they are trying to destructively criticize you and spoil your mood and also make your self-confidence lower. So what is the next best thing that you can do when you are facing criticism? The best thing to do is listen to the other person, don't react, give a response after some time, then ask yourself if the person is correct or wrong. If the person is correct, then treat it as an opportunity and improve yourself. And if the person is wrong, then just ignore it. Hopefully this video is useful to you, and to find such useful videos, you just need to subscribe to this channel Mushkil Ashan and click the bell button. I'll be here every Saturday with an English episode and every Thursday at 9 AM in the morning with a Bengali episode. Do spread the word if you like it. Thank you for watching.